We have so much to talk about. I cannot wait. I have so many notes. I have so much to cover. Yeah. Before we get into that, let me run my disclaimer so I don't forget, and I'll be right back. Okay, now I see that I'm being raided by some very special squirrels. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for the raid, DC. I appreciate you. Shout out to DC for making the thumbnail. Oh, we have so much to talk about. I don't know if you guys have seen online social media. I guess that's online too. This new metabolic health conversation that Optavia is trying to have. I was sent this information. You know who you are. Thank you so much. And I have a lot to say about it. I have a ton. Ultimately, my goal at the end of this live is for you guys that are watching and also watching live, but also the replay crew, to have some real tips on how you can change your metabolic health that doesn't require Optavia. So thank you guys for the compliments on my makeup. I have everything listed in the video description if you want to check out what I'm using. And I feel like we should do a Dr. Pepper pour because I've been waiting. And I also, guys, this is what I have today. Dr. Pepper and cream soda, 0 sugar. I didn't mean to slam that. And you already know. I have this linked as well because it's fun. All right, let's do this thing because I'm going to need it to get through this for sure. All right. I mean, it was all right. I hope you guys have your favorite Dr. Pepper flavor as well, or your favorite beverage and snack. Water is right. Are visitors so soon? We have a little visitor so soon into the stream. Okay, Luna, would you like to come say hi? Come here. Well, come here. Come here and say hello to all the people. Say hello to all the people. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to be so awkward about that. My apologies. Hi. Let's get them some purse. Listen, you know what kind of stream it's going to be. If Luna makes an appearance and the Dr. Pepper is extra crispy, it's about to go down. Some toe beans for everybody. Look at how cute she is. Also, I don't want to take the bats down yet. I just don't want to take them down. I love them. I love them. All right. Are y'all ready? Because I'm ready. Let me get my notes together. This is going to be a lot. We're probably going to be here for a while, which, by the way, is why I'm not doing an after party for the members, because we're going to be here a little bit, but there's some really important things that we need to talk about. And if you are new here, welcome. My name is Erin Bies. I'm an ACE certified personal trainer. I'm working towards my fitness nutrition specialist credential. By the way, I have like 2.5 chapters left, so hopefully soon. I make evidence-based anti-MLM content that calls out bad science, manipulative marketing, and wellness reps who talk much louder than they research. Today, we're going to be reacting to a video from Optavia, from Doug Wood and Dr. Anderson. What the heck was that? And he's not just a random distributor in the company. He's somebody, Doug specifically, that's connected to leadership under Dr. Wayne Anderson, a former critical care physician who left clinical practice to co-found Optavia, an MLM under the parent company that's a $1 billion company called Medifast. Optavia, unfortunately, is the company behind the 5-in-1 plan, the 100-calorie fuelings, the eat 6 times a day script, and the coaching system where most coaches have no formal training in nutrition, metabolism, or behavior science, but are taught to position themselves online like expert anyways. Hate that. And yeah, at one point in this video, I'm laughing because it is unbelievable what is said in this video. And I feel like I say that every video, but at one point, somebody says that they weighed too much to ride the Dumbo ride at Disneyland. We're going to unpack that. I have a lot to say about that. And I'm sure there's some Disney fans in the comments. Let me know your favorite Disney character if you're a Disney fan. Who was mine? I think Princess Tiana is my favorite. Before we get into it, though, let's talk about a specific disclaimer around this topic. I am not a doctor. I am not diagnosing anybody. I am not telling you to start or stop medication. I'm not qualified to do any of that. I will stay fully inside my ACPT scope of practice, which means that I can analyze health and nutrition claims. I can correct misinformation using peer-reviewed research. I can teach evidence-based fitness and nutrition habits. What I cannot do and will not do is give individualized medical direction. I'm not qualified to do that, but I absolutely can and will debunk false claims, sales tactics, and pseudoscience. If you have not already, in the video description, check out the playlists that are in there, a bunch of resources. And while I have you here, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. If you'd like to become a member, click the join button. I do a lot of behind the scenes stuff. I'm getting ready to do fitness and nutrition Q&As for members as well. Here, not today, but soon. I need to figure out when I can get that scheduled. So, what else do I need to tell you guys? Oh, I feel like this is important for context. Doug Wood, and I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to continue to mention it because this is a character flaw. It's an integrity issue, in my opinion. Doug Wood's wife, Tia, recently admitted that she had been on a GLP-1 medication for several years while publicly claiming her weight loss came from Optavia fuelings, mindset, and workouts. She never once disclosed the medication while selling Optavia coaching and transformation stories to her audience. This matters because Optavia coaches have spent years, they have spent years villainizing GLP-1 medications. Dr. Anderson even made comments about it from the stage. I believe that was the beginning of this year, allegedly calling them cheating or dangerous or the shot, as Dr. Anderson referred to it, who's a doctor. And that is such weird language coming from a doctor. Or claiming that no one keeps muscle while taking a GLP-1 medication. And I feel like all of this, I'm saying all of this because it brings up what I consider to be a very fair question. If people at the top of Optavia and other MLMs, this isn't just Optavia we're talking about, here today, yes, but if people at the top were secretly using the medication that they told everybody else to avoid, how many others were doing the same exact thing and not telling anybody? And if they're willing to lie about their own bodies to sell a product, should they be trusted to coach yours? I personally don't think so. But keep that question in the back of your mind. Throughout this entire video, throughout this stream, I think that that's just extremely important. Now, we're going to do something fun because this is kind of a heavy topic. As I'm watching this, what we're going to do as we're watching this together, every time they make a major claim, whether it's scientific, medical, emotional manipulation, sales-based, anything like that, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to break it down using 3 labels. Is it truth, half-truth, or a lie? Okay? And I hope you guys play along too, because then I'm going to give you real science in plain language. No vibes or whatever, no made up stats, and no company funded studies passed off as clinical research, most importantly. Okay, I hope you have your favorite drink, your favorite snack. That was a long intro. I apologize for that. And let's finally get to this video. Let me fast forward a little bit because there's music playing at the beginning.
We're very interactive.
Oh,
We're a very interactive community.
we're just going to go
And
here.
really tonight we're going to talk about resetting America's metabolic health. And we're in for a great conversation. I'm assuming you logged in tonight because you're either on your journey, you're looking around you like I have lately, and to realize that a lot of people are hurting. And this world and America is heading the wrong direction, and we can do something about it. And the exciting thing is,
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the elections last night are attempting to put us in the right direction. That's just my opinion, though.
we have some absolutely hot off the press, fresh scientific knowledge that
Scientific, huh?
Dr. A will be sharing with you here.
Is the science in the room with us, Doug? Speak on anything science related. Not a thing. No.
In just a couple of minutes. But I've known about it for 16 years. And that's really the time that I chose to take my health, not just to the next level, but I chose to take personal responsibility. And I did that one way. I chose me. And I'm going to show you a picture of here in just a second of when I was at Disneyland 20.
Did y'all, we're going to get to the Disneyland thing in a minute. Did y'all notice that he called himself a metabolic reset coach? And that he's been doing that for 16 years. But this is a new thing that Optavia just came out with. This is called Optavia 3.0 or something along those lines. But he's been doing it for 16 years. So that to me is a red flag kind of getting into this, that this is just marketing. Oh, I'm a metabolic reset coach. I've been doing it for 16 years, but now we're launching Optavia 3.0. Come on. Come on.
20 years ago with my daughter, and we were also at Disneyland 2 days ago. But I started my health journey in 2010. Since then, I've been a metabolic reset coach for 16 passionate years. I live here in Scottsdale, Arizona. I am married to the absolute love of my life, Miss Tia Wood. She's a great follow on Instagram, by the way, Tia Wood. And I'm the father of 4
She's really not, though, in my opinion.
Amazing children. I did go on to lose 70 pounds and completely transformed my health. And since then, I've been challenged to take it to the next level ever since. But more than anything, I've been challenged to help people, hopefully, just like you that logged on here tonight, that you're looking for a better way. Maybe the confusion have set in, frustration have set in, don't know where to turn next. Most people are afraid to walk into a gym. Most people just are trying to, we're dieting in secret because we're frustrated. And that was me exactly 20 years ago. That is actually a picture on the left there of me and my daughter Amaya with the,
oh my God, the menopause coaches that I see on TikTok. I want to throw things. I'm like, please just leave people alone. Oh,
pacifier. I was taking her in to get dressed up like a princess in a little fairy tale land at Disneyland. And I was, there was a couple rides that said you had to be less than 250 pounds to go on, and I did not qualify to go on them. And at the time, it was Dumbo. And you might think like, gosh, are we really talking Dumbo tonight? Yeah, we're talking Dumbo.
Yeah, we're talking Dumbo, and that's why DC put it in the thumbnail, which I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so he's talking about being too big or weighing too much specifically to ride the Dumbo ride at Disneyland, implying that Disney has a weight restriction and that Optavia is the solution. Have y'all ever heard of a weight restriction at Disneyland? Because I looked it up, but hey, this is his claim. This is a first big claim that he couldn't ride the Dumbo ride at Disneyland because of his weight. Is it truth? Is it a half truth, or is it a lie? Let me know in the comments because I hope you guys play along. And you can do fun emojis too, if you want to do it that way. So you can do truth like a green check mark. Half truth could be a yellow warning sign. And then a lie could be an X. Lies, Manelli. Yes, that is a lie. We're just over, what is this? We're just over 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes. Yeah, do they have a scale for each ride? We're just over almost 4 minutes into his video, and he's already experiencing creative writing disguised as health education. I love how he has that, he's lowered his tone and he's adjusting his voice and he's acting like he's talking about something super emotional because he knows that there are going to be people that experience this kind of situation in their life and he wants to relate to people. Okay, anyways, hate it. There is no weight limit for the Dumbo ride at Disneyland. There's no scale, no posted restriction, no cast member policy, no, hey, you don't fit, go home kind of situation. As long as that safety bar can close, you are good. So why does this claim exist? Why is he saying this? Well, MLMs rely on fear and shame to sell solutions. If they can convince you that your size is preventing magical life experiences, they don't need science. They just need you to panic purchase their products. It's disgusting. Disney attraction guidance lists only one type of restriction: height and not weight. You don't need a powdered fueling system or a coach on Facebook that just joined Optavia to earn access to joy and travel or even theme parks. What you need is accurate information, not fear-based sales psychology, as we're seeing here from Doug. And I hate it.
Because I couldn't get on that ride and I chose to do something different about it. And there we are. Literally, that picture was taken on Monday at Disneyland. There is me and my oldest daughter standing right next to me. I'm proud and I'm honored to be a fit dad. I am proud to have helped many dads transform their health ever since and really take a good look from within and be the dad that they really desired to be. I'm gonna stop screen share for a minute because that's what I really want to speak to.
I just know Doug was so hyped up for this video. I just know that he's like standing there with his legs spread, like I just know he's like, yeah, man. Did you do some push-ups before this video, Doug? Please tell us if you did. Please tell us. Yeah, man, I'm so hyped up. We're going to change people's lives. No, you're not, Doug. But I hope that I do tonight.
And I just want to stop and say congratulations for logging in tonight. Congratulations for taking the next 40 minutes out of your.
I would like to thank you guys for being here. Those that are watching on the live stream, especially if you've liked and subscribed, and those that are watching the replay. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. It's going to be a bumpy ride, okay? Please keep your arms and legs inside the ride tonight. Make sure that your seatbelt is fastened securely because it's going to get out of control.
Evening,
hey,
to
DC.
invest in you, to take a look within. Sometimes in life, the older we get, we just need to look under the hood. We need to check the oil and go, you know what? How's it going? How am I really feeling?
Yeah, and when you need to change the oil, and some people can change their own oil, which is amazing. Mia can change her own oil. Obviously, my husband can because he's a mechanic, an aircraft mechanic, but he knows how to fix everything. Not everybody can. And so some people take their vehicle to have the oil changed because they don't know how to do it. So they're taking it to a professional to do that. Also, this is an unfortunate pause story that I will not apologize for. I love this for you, Doug. I'm going to leave it here paused extra long just because I know you'll probably love it.
What's my waistline doing? And for you, it might be, I don't feel confident in my clothes, but the medications, the diabetes, the cholesterol, the missing out on life. What about hiding from the photos, putting our kids in front? What about all the amazing filters that exist on, I love all these tools of CapCut and Instagram and all these filters, but how often do I?
He should ask Kelsey Ray about the Snow app. She seems to be a fan of that one. Adjusting her waist, the filter slipping. Yeah, I love that. I really hope to see Kelsey Ray this weekend at the Prove It event. And yes, I'm going. And yes, I'm bringing friends. Man, I am spicy tonight.
We're starting to not just filter out our blemishes on our face, but what about the way we look? So sometimes it is cosmetic. And the good news is there's a better way, and we have the answers. And I am grateful that I did go on to completely reset my health 16.
Yeah, make sure that you're following me on Instagram because I'm going to document that in my stories. It is a full moon, right? Full moon in Taurus. Guess who's a Taurus? Your girl. Taurus, and Savannah's a Taurus, in case you didn't know that as well.
Years ago, and I've been on the journey ever since, and so has a massive army, and I think some of you are on
Massive.
tonight. In fact, if you have been on your health journey and finding success, whether it be with our program or you just been doing something about it, you should drop that in the chat tonight. And I'm impressed sometimes with how much weight people have lost, but what I want to know is what kind of dad you are today.
You know what I'm impressed? What impresses me? Specifically, when my personal training clients have the confidence to walk into a gym and walk to the free weight section and pick up the weight with full confidence, knowing that they deserve to be there too and to take up space. Or when they progress, maybe they do more reps, more sets, more weight, they become stronger. That impresses me. When somebody says, "Hey, I think I'm ready to add this, or I'd like to try that," or "You know what? I'm not feeling like I'm so scared of food anymore. I really feel like I'm starting to understand kind of how this works. I'm starting to understand how to meal prep. I'm starting to understand, proper lifting technique." These are the things that impress me. And also shout out to my personal training clients. Y'all are incredible, and I'm proud of every single one of you.
What kind of mom you are today, how fully present, how is you resetting your metabolic health? How's that helped you perform better? How's that made you more productive in the marketplace? How's that maybe made you a better ministry leader or a pastor or a servant to this world? Because that's what it's about today. That's what we're doing here. And we really want to dive right into it and let you see what that looks like for you, because I want this to be the next 40 minutes. I want this to be about you. So with that said, here in just a second,
I said this on the members only live when we were watching the first little bit of this. He's saying that he wants to make this about other people, but he has spent 6 minutes and 30 seconds talking about him. His favorite topic, in my opinion. God, he is embarrassing.
I'm going to invite on my friend and my mentor, Dr. Ed, but I wanted to give him a proper introduction. And so I just wanted to read a little bit about Dr. Ray, and then you're going to hear from him for the next 20 minutes. I'm going to then ask him a couple of questions about really what he shares. You're going to possibly have questions as well. So drop those in the chat. I'll do my best to answer questions during the presentation. Then I've got two powerful stories that I want you to hear. They're 3 minutes each at the very end. And
see, here's the thing. If your science was actually sound, you wouldn't have to rely on testimonials from people that are coaches in Optavia. You wouldn't have to have these before and after pictures. You would be able to say, here's the study. Here is the scientific evidence that what we are saying actually works. But see, that doesn't exist. And he knows that. So they have to rely on testimonials. Think about that as you come across, MLM posts and things of that nature, where they're talking about weight loss or better mood or better skin, whatever, less brain fog, all of that stuff. Think about that. If they actually had scientific evidence that wasn't linked to if it was actual scientific evidence, they wouldn't have a proprietary blend. I could talk about that all day long. But think about that for a second. If the product actually worked, they would be able to, here's the study. Here's all of the details. If you need help understanding the study or paraphrasing it or whatever, let me know. And I can answer those questions. They wouldn't have to do any of this marketing, emotional manipulation. It would be in black and white. But see, that doesn't exist in MLM companies. So they have to rely on stuff like that. And that's why he's going to end this call with these, super emotionally charged testimonials. That's why people in multi-level marketing are taught to tell their story, because they don't have the actual data, sound scientific data to show that the products do what they all claim that they do. Oh, God.
I want you to hear from firsthand clients, one where they were years ago, where they are today, and the other one who has recently been utilizing
That's amazing.
GLP-1s, completely changing her habits, changing her nutrition, following literally Dr. A's prescription for life, which she'll be talking about, and to see two different paths of two different choices. But we're about choice, and we're here to serve each and every person. So with that,
is it just me, or do you guys think that Doug is actually not about choice? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think he is.
That said, Dr. A, he's a visionary physician, an author, and a leader in a global movement to create health and well-being.
I said this also about on the members only live about him. Oh, this is your friend, and how come you're having to read all this about your friend? Wouldn't you just be like, hey man, he's a cool guy, he's a doctor, but you'd be able to like just say these things. He's got to read his bio for his friend.
Years ago, he graduated first in his medical school class and becoming one of the first of 10 board certified critical care physicians in the United States. Dr. A helped pioneer the field of critical care medicine before dedicating his life to transforming the way we approach health itself. I'm thankful for that because I'm part of this movement. As co-founder and independent leader of Optavia, and the creator of the Habits of Health transformational system, which is why I'm healthy today.
Why are you raising your hand like that? That's weird. I just know he's standing with his legs like, like a pyramid, if you will, a triangular shape. And he's like, yeah, man, he's changed my life. Yeah. I am so spicy. I will not apologize. But we do have a new member. It is time. I thought about wearing a tank top tonight to show off the shoulders. I didn't. I wanted to wear this. I wanted to wear black because I was planning this whole background. Anyways, Katina, welcome. DC, remember the other day when you were saying that you looked at me and you were like, you could just look at Erin and tell that she has rhythm. I was dancing the other day at the gym. In fact, I was listening as I was on the treadmill. Side note, as I was on the treadmill, as I put in my stories the other day, I was walking to the beat of the wobble. You guys know that song. Please tell me y'all know that song. And I was shaking it to the beat on the treadmill. It was a good workout. Anyways, that made me laugh. So I wanted to share with you guys.
He has spent more than the last 2 decades helping millions, and that is millions with an M. And Dr. A, very soon it's going to be billions. Millions of.
Is it though? It's going to go from millions to billions when people are leaving the company. Revenue's dropping. Oh, but it's going to be billions. Okay, Doug.
People take charge of their health through lifestyle and mindset change, and that's the big one.
This is so cool. Just got back from watching my daughter run the New York City Marathon, and there was every type of body participating, and they were all happy, loved, and complete rock stars. Skinny doesn't equal your worth. Oh my God, that is the coolest thing. Please tell your daughter congratulations. That is such a huge feat. A marathon. Wow. Wow. Congratulations. That's awesome. It's a great song.
We're going to help you get weight off your body. But what about changing this up here, changing our habits, implementing the day-to-day and the way of living? And also, if you notice, my daughter has transformed her health because dad changed his habits. Dad changed his habits. My kids got a better dad. My wife got a better husband. My friends got a better friend. And the people that I provide for get a better boss, get a better coach, because I changed my habits up here. And that's what we're focused on. Now, with his upcoming, I missed this. He's a recognized leader in lifestyle medicine and a New York Times bestselling author. Dr. A has been an early visionary in the science of metabolic health long before it entered the mainstream conversation. Now, with the upcoming release.
You don't think metabolic health has been talked about by medical professionals for a while? Okay, anyways.
Of his highly anticipated new book, My Prescription for Life, From GLP-1s to Freedom, The Path to Lasting Health Through Lifestyle Change, Dr. A reveals the truth around the value and where GLP-1 medications fit in this marketplace and the choice that you have, but also guiding its readers to determine if they're the right fit for them, but more importantly, how to use them, if so, and how to change their mindset around.
That is so weird, considering Dr. A, as they call him, just was on stage earlier this year, I believe it was, talking about how the shot was the enemy. We don't need the shot or something like that. And how funny and ironic is it that some of his top leaders, Tia Wood talking to you, was on a GLP-1 medication. Make no mistake about it. We are pro medication over here. We are pro prescriptions. Work with your doctor, pro science. Always. So this is not me villainizing GLP-1. I just find the flip-flopping from Optavia and Dr. A specifically on the shot quite fascinating. Oh, this is how it can work, with Optavia. Okay.
On creating lasting optimal health. And last but not least, before Zoom gives the warmest welcome to Dr. A, through his teachings, his writings, his leadership, his content he puts out on Instagram, Dr. A continues.
Wait, he puts out content on Instagram? Have y'all seen his content? Okay, I'll look it up.
Continues to lead a powerful movement to move upstream from disease management and prescription writing. That's my own ad in there, to health creation, inspiring a new model for optimal and metabolic health for our nation and beyond. My friends, tonight, and many of you that are over on the Facebook live stream, would you guys give Dr. A warm welcome with lots of hearts emojis and in the chat. Dr. A, welcome to the family. I'm going to turn it over to you. What an honor to have you on the call tonight.
Thanks, Doug. And, I was reflecting back when you were talking about your kids, that picture of your daughter, and now which she's such an amazing woman. She's a young woman, and just the mastery and just being surrounded by that attitude, right? That attitude, that desire, the optimal health and well-being. I mean, our kids are so ahead of the curve. When I wrote Habits Health in 2008, there's a section there where I talked about wanting to keep up with my kids. And at the time I wrote that, Erica was 8 years old. And I talked about, as they got older, being able to keep up and ski with them, and not just, hey, Dad, give us your credit card and we'll see you at the end of the day. And just last spring in April, I took Erica heli skiing with me. 18 years ago when I wrote that, I couldn't heli ski. I didn't have the capability to heli ski. And last year I watched her just with pure joy and confidence go out and ski with, some of the top skiers in the world on a helicopter. They're all guys and they're dropping us out. And I watched her a little nervous in the beginning. And by the last day, she was kicking everybody's ass. And the beauty of that is in here, everything we do, everything we create starts from in here. And it's so critical in the world we live in, where emotional mismanagement is the leading cause of death. So at the very start, that part.
Emotional mismanagement is the leading cause of death.
Is so important, but the more important part than that is the decision to do it. Actually, for all of you who are on tonight, you have the capability to change your health in your life. There's no question. If I could sit one-on-one with each one of you, wherever you are at this point, one of the things I learned is that when we create optimal health for ourselves by making small incremental improvements, everything changes. So I'm going to do a real brief presentation here. Doug, can I share?
Yeah, you're good to go.
I think she can answer,
great.
no?
Thank you. All right, so let's make sure I got you. Let me know when I got this up. There it is, right there.
I'm pretty sure she had cancer.
Let me know when it's full screen. Full screen?
You are good to go.
Good, awesome.
Mission 3.0.
So basically, Mission 3.0, it's our natural evolution. We want to create a healthy new world, basically, because that's what we do. And we've heard so much, and you've heard so much already. Well, as one of the things I get to do is go around the world and look. In 2008, when I wrote The Habits of Health, I wrote about people living over 100. That was 2 years before the book, The Blue Zone, came out. And we knew that if we could go to different areas and look at what people did to live over 100, because one of the key things that's certainly not happened in the United States of America is that our health span and our lifespan are not close. In fact, what we're finding more and more, this is creeping down, where people are living in a healthy state for a long time. And to your point, Doug, they can't be good parents. They can't be good partners. They basically are a drain on the medical system, and they're suffering incessantly. And I spent 20 years in that world, and I can tell you, I was chasing it way down here, down at the point where people had heart attacks and strokes, and all these really, really bad things that were happening to them. Bottom line is, when we were in Galicia, Spain, there was no question in my mind whether to live healthier. I interviewed a 102-year-old lady. She lived by the ocean. She basically had her friendships and friends around her. She's going in at 102 3 times a week to a community center where she hangs out with other people her age and they do exercises together. She painted for me. Basically, as we walked the streets in the evening, people were singing, they were eating outside. I didn't see processed food anywhere. Walking up the hills, having fun, singing at night. And then I came back and flew nonstop from Madrid back to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, not to pick on Philly, but I went into the airport and basically it was like going on a different planet. Chili steak, cheesesteaks, and fast food everywhere. People lounging around, watching TV, drinking to oblivion.
Wait, aren't they at the airport waiting for their next flight? As if there's not sound nutritional options of some kind or ways that you can adapt different things that you can get from the restaurants at the airport. Oh my God.
No wonder our world is designed for that. And we've been talking about that for a long time, basically, and it's not your fault. It's not your fault until it is your fault when you know. So
What? I'm laughing because this is infuriating.
what Doug's talking about and what's so critical is we've had a vision reborn. This is our moment of convergence where the mission meets the proof. And in essence, we're at a point now where we can say stuff that we could never say before. In my transformation story, and even a couple of years ago, I thought I was pretty healthy. And I decided when I wrote this book, My Prescription for Life, that Doug was talking about, I decided to wear a glucometer. Now, it was designed for diabetics, but it watches your blood sugar.
Yeah, it was designed for diabetics because they're the ones that need it, not you doing research for your book.
So it's a direct indicator of metabolic health. And I knew that metabolic health was at the center. And this is actually before we'd even switched.
I'm considering, speaking of hers, I am considering doing I was talking to the members about it, a sketchy supplement series. That is a mouthful. Say that 3 times fast. Hers is on my list. Yeah, the Kourtney Kardashian supplement is on my list. The other one that I think I'm going to do, and you guys let me know what you think. I've already talked to the members about it. Primal Queen, I think, is going to be my first video. But let me know what you think.
I wrote the book before we even switched to this being our main focus. And so I can't tell you how happy I am tonight that we're actually doing this, because as you'll hear between now and as we answer questions and listen to our incredible stories that our fellow coaches have, you're going to see something that has never happened before. 6 macro reps. I was pretty good at them. Since I started using that, and I decided, you know what?
It's on there.
I wanted to make sure anything I wrote in that book was something that I had personally tested. So everything I basically ate. Every time I had any stress, my sleep pattern, my exercise pattern, I followed that. And an interesting thing happened. Over the last 18 months, I've lost 20 pounds. My waist circumference is the same as it is or was when I was in high school. I literally, all that visceral fat, all the fat, which we'll talk about in a moment, is gone away.
Oh yeah, we're going to talk about it. Indeed.
I got to walk up to Stewart Falls this time, and basically right behind the basically Adam and Gina's kid, and they're 20 years old, 25 years old, or young. And I was walking at a pace otherwise I couldn't have done before. So I know my metabolic health is dramatically better. I know I feel better than I have in years. I know I have that clarity. And I know now, because of what.
Isn't it ironic that this is all coming from a doctor? Please don't research Alani. I don't want to know. Kayla. God, that's great.
What's gone on and what we're going to talk about, being able to restore my metabolic health is something that's going to change everything we do in 3.0, because you're going to have the opportunity to go with people with a blue ocean strategy, no longer confusing with weight loss. Weight loss is one of the symptoms of increasing your metabolic health, but it's basically not the endpoint. The endpoint is much more than that. So basically what I've done here is just to kind of show you in the book, this is one of the sections, and this is the first section, because
okay, I won't do Alani and I won't do Celsius. Y'all are so funny.
think of the book as being an acquisition tool. 25 to 50 million Americans right now are thinking about going on a GLP-1. This and AI are the two most talked about things in the world, and they're not sure whether to go or not. And 10 million more are on it, and many more million have gone on it and had poor results. Some of them had good results, but without having a guide, having a coach, having a system, their chances, just by taking the shot, aren't great. Now, with you as a coach,
the chances of them just taking the shot, as if that shot, as they refer to it, a GLP-1 medication, wouldn't be prescribed, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, prescribed by a doctor that has a medical degree to be able to coach them through that, along with being able to have resources to, a registered dietitian. This us versus them that I feel like I'm seeing from him. Well, we're the only ones that can do this. You're not, though. You're not. And the what is the name of that movie? Where it's Vince Vaughn is in it. Okay, what is the name of this movie? I can't believe they go on a trip to some tropical island, couples something. It's a bunch of like a friend group. They're going and they think it's this like marriage therapy kind of thing. What? Couples retreat. That's it. Thank you, guys. And when they're looking for I can't remember his name, but they're looking for the girlfriend. She's on the single side of it. If you have not watched this movie, please watch it. But when they're looking for him, and Vince Vaughn looks over at one of the characters and he goes, "You're a problem. You're a real problem." I don't know why that just came up as I was listening to this. Oh God, it's a must. You must see that movie if you haven't already. For me.
Coach, it becomes incredible for them, which we'll talk about. But the first part is breaking. I had an Italian artist do watercolors for these because I asked him, I said, if this book is, on Amazon or at a bookstore at the airport, I want people to look at it and you can read it in a day or two. It's not like The Habits of Health, which is your guide for the rest of your life. This is just a way of really starting to understand. And if you're thinking about going on a GLP-1, this puts you in position. And now you, as you read this, you're going to be there so that any doctor that writes a script for a GLP-1 medicines, Ozempic or any of them, basically they also should give this prescription along with it to make sure that they're being optimized by your...
The audacity of thinking that a doctor who is prescribing a medication to their patient should also prescribe your book. What?
Being their coach and having a community and having the products and the system. And I'm going to show you in a moment why that's so important. So here's the deal. In that toxic world that we just showed, we're running on autopilot. We're sleeping poor. We have emotional mismanagement. Our attention's hijacked. And as a result, our insulin levels going up. And if I compare that to the world I was in 20 years ago when Doug was talking about I was a critical care physician, bottom line is we know now, and you're going to know right now that you know more than most physicians, because most physicians are still using fasting blood sugar. In other words, they say don't eat overnight. In the morning, we're going to take your blood sugar. And if your blood sugar is less than 100, they go, yep, you're good. The reality is when your blood sugar goes up, you're way downstream and you're starting to have bad things happen to your body.
That's one diagnostic test. A doctor is not just going to look at your fasting blood sugar and say, oh, you're good. They're going to look at blood pressure. They're probably going to order a lipid panel. They're going to look at a whole host of things. And he knows that.
Five to 10 years before your blood sugar goes up, your insulin levels going up as a result of eating this unhealthy food, by being stressed, by not sleeping well, by basically having inflammation and all the stress that comes with everyday life. Here's the reality. You get metabolic syndrome and then the health crisis grows in the soil are things such as obesity and type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease and chronic kidney disease and cancers and cognitive decline. All those things that I was treating down here so far downstream are all caused by the same problem, metabolic dysfunction. And now you as coaches have the ability, our goal is over the next 10 years is to eliminate chronic disease to the point where we are now getting people metabolically healthy way upstream from before they have these things that can happen to them. And a great example is liver Fatty liver basically used to be only with alcoholics, and now non-fatty liver, we've actually changed it, and the first name in it is metabolic steatohepatitis, because it is caused by too much fat getting in the liver, and then as resistance gets worse and worse, you start building scarring and metabolic changes that cause cirrhosis. I mean, I've been in those livers many years, and we opened them up, and they look terrible. They look like an old witch, all nodules and stuff all over them, this ugly color, and not that beautiful.
Let's relax on the witch's comments. Okay, relax.
Purple that only I could say is sexy, because the liver, when it's smooth and purple, it's nice. Otherwise, it's not so much. So the real enemy isn't health, isn't weight. It's metabolic dysfunction, and 9 out of 10 Americans are affected by it. In fact, 9 out of 10 deaths in the United States are a direct cause of metabolic dysfunction. And
Okay, hold on, because I feel like my notes are a little bit off. Let me get to this. This is the next claim that we're going to give our rating of, whether it's truth, half truth, or a lie. Let me know in the comments. Okay, here we are. The claim is 90% of people are metabolically unhealthy. And again, label it in the comments if you would, if you want to play our little game that we're doing tonight, because this is a really heavy topic. Truth, half truth, or a lie. Oh, you guys, I see a couple lies. Okay, this is actually a half truth. Nothing says buy my program like statistics used without context. And that's what makes this a half truth. A 2018 Naney's review did find that 88% of the US adults, I should say, have at least one biomarker outside the ideal range. That does not mean that 90% of people are actively sick or urgently doomed. It means the US has structural issues with food access, sedentary work, sleep deprivation, and chronic stress. It does not mean that 90% of people need to buy fuelings from somebody in Optavia. And for those that don't know, Naney's is the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. It's not, an Optavia statistic. That's actual science. You don't have to, let me back up. You don't fix metabolic markers with a subscription box for fuelings from Optavia. You fix them with sleep, protein, movement, fiber, and stress management, none of which require you to recruit other people into the scheme. Come on.
10th one, accidents, is probably actually caused partially by metabolic dysfunction as well. People not sleeping well, getting in a car, falling asleep, being in a brain fog, not paying attention, being malaise, distracted. So basically, every single person you come in contact with, our story is much bigger. Our basically mission is much bigger. The audience is much bigger. And you are in position, as you are a health coach, to help people optimize their metabolic health. It's a hell of a
They are not qualified to do any of that. The coaches.
time to BS. Here's the deal. All the time before this, it's been about the Great Loss Game. And we were in Vegas this summer, and every time I go there, it's just more incredible, these casinos. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah with these palaces. And I think, God, where are they getting the money? They're getting the money, people hoping to get rich quick.
I said this on the members only live. I'm going to say it again. The irony of him pitching Optavia when we know that you are more likely to hit it big at a casino in Las Vegas than you are to make any kind of a sustainable income in multi-level marketing. That's wild to me. That is wild.
People using diets basically may have an early win. The scale may move down, but the house always wins. Reality will set in. You're going to lose muscle, regain weight, and that cycle continues to repeat itself. The bottom line is,
let's pause that for a second, because I don't know if you just caught what he said. He is saying that people regain weight after stopping GLP-1s unless they use their system. That's what he's implying here. And let me know if you think that is a truth, a half truth, or a lie. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, I don't know what happened with his presentation, but Doug is going to tell him here in a second. Lie. Okay, lie. Yes, this is a half truth. So here's the reality of this. Weight regain after any intervention, medication, diet, surgery is common if habits don't change. That doesn't mean that GLP-1s don't work. That means behavior change matters, and behavior change is not MLM exclusive. This same regain pattern is documented after keto, after fasting, diets, and yes, we have countless stories of people that have also gained weight back after they got off of Optavia. So some sustainable habits I hope that you guys will take away is, actually, I don't even want to word it. I don't want to word it that way. How do I want to word this? Long-term success comes from muscle preserving strength training, adequate protein, manageable calorie deficits, and sleep and stress management. Not from auto shipping powder food in a box from Optavia. You've got to be kidding me. So that is a half truth from him.
The weight loss revolution is happening.
Hey, Dr. A.
Yeah.
We lost your slide. It just says Zoom on there now. You might want to
Oh,
stop
really?
right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me
really?
redo. Sorry about that.
We got your
Wait, what
text
is that
up now.
Oh.
Okay, let's get that back. Let me see. Share. Weight loss. Is that back?
There we go. You're back.
Thanks, buddy. Awesome. So basically, again, that's a juicy looking cheeseburger. And don't lie, I have them occasionally, but I still don't live on them day in, day out. And by the way, I take the bread off and I put lettuce on it. I go animal style, right? As they say. And the reality is this weight loss revolution is happening, as I mentioned, and so many people are looking at it right now. What we want to do is be able to come alongside that and have people understand that the GLP-1 drugs can quiet the noise of hunger, but they cannot build the music of health. In fact, they are in some ways just part of the great loss game. They curb appetite and promise quick fixes, but the truth is sobering.
They curb appetite and promise quick fixes?
40% of that loss is lean mass, unless they have a coach and they have our system with them. And if you think
What? Guys, you're only going to maintain your lean muscle mass if you are on a GLP-1 medication and you're using Optavia. What?
about it, metabolic health is determined by your muscle. Now, Doug,
Okay.
looking at Doug 15, 16 years ago, you could see he didn't have a lot of muscle. He's a big guy. Now he's
Well, I mean, you can't really look at somebody. I don't feel like you can look at somebody and say, "Oh yeah, they look like they have a lot of muscle," unless they are super lean. I mean, Doug still had muscle. He just wasn't as lean to be able to see. Okay, anyways, let me just.
all muscle. And what muscle does, I mean, you don't have to be at that level, but you do need to be metabolically fit and have muscle. Muscle absorbs glucose. So on those times,
Muscle absorbs glucose. Okay, so let's do another truth, half truth, or lie. He is claiming that GLP-1 medications don't fix metabolic health. They just shut off hunger. That's essentially what he's talking about here. So let me know in the comments, truth, half truth, or lie. Let me know. Yeah, I hate this MLM so much. I hate it. And Doug was so excited about having Dr. A on. Oh my God. Truth, half truth, or lie. Also, do you guys like this truth, half truth, lie thing? I came up with that. I'm deep cleaning my kitchen cupboards and lurking. Oh my God. I had to hop on it to say, oh my God. Yes, same. Okay. So reducing a full class of FDA approved medications to just appetite control is like calling a car just four wheels. That's what he's doing here. GLP-1s do reduce appetite. That's absolutely true. But human trials also show improvements in hemoglobin A1C levels, insulin resistance, inflammation, triglycerides, and cardiometabolic risk markers. These are measured in blood work, not by look and, like just looking at somebody, and not in MLM slides. According to the New England Journal of Medicine in 2021, they published the source for that, is the New England Journal of Medicine 2021. There is not a study done on this from the corporate side or from Optavia, however you want to word that. It doesn't exist. Does not exist. So, sustainable habits, whether someone uses medication or not, the foundation stays the same. Protein, strength training, movement, sleep, and stress skills. That's going to be a recurring theme. And what's interesting is you'll hear them sprinkle that stuff in and make it seem like you can't do those things without Optavia. You can absolutely do those things, focus on those things, and I highly encourage you doing those without Optavia. This is Optavia hanging on to the heels, like literally just trying to hang on for dear life to the heels of actual scientific evidence, because that's what GLP-1 medications have, actual scientific evidence. They are trying to stay relevant in this conversation with what we are seeing here. It's actually really embarrassing. So medication isn't always magic, but MLM fuelings are absolutely not science. Oh my God, I hate it here. And by the way, that was a half truth. I think I skipped over that. That was a half truth. So anyways.
When you do decide to have something that may have more sugar in it than you like it, your muscle, when you have great muscle, it can absorb that. And muscle is the number one determinant of longevity. So
pretty sure muscle uses glucose, doesn't absorb it, right?
if you're on these medicines and you're not working with a coach in our system in the Habits, Health, and Healthy Motion and using our protein sources, basically 40% means that even though during that metabolic window, you're getting healthier, once you gain your weight back, now your body composition has changed. That's why, we basically talk about, in fact, right here, somewhere right here, where is it? Right here. Yeah, basically last weekend, I went and we're talking about this. You need to get this done. You need to get your metabolic composition done, your body composition done, because it's so important to know that you're in here for the long haul. We're going to be focusing on our metabolic health for the rest of our lives. And so to be able to...
And you should do that with a medical professional, not somebody in Optavia. Also, can we talk about this? Up to 40% of that loss is lean mass. I would like to address that. I think this is a great opportunity for us to do fact, not fact. I was going to say fact or crap. Do y'all remember that game? Anyways, truth, half truth, or lie. And his claim is that GLP-1 users are essentially losing 40% of lean muscle mass. So truth, half truth, or lie. Let me know in the comments. Do they still eat no fruit? I don't think they do. Half truth, lie. I love that you guys are doing that. Half truth, lie, half truth. Okay, this is a half truth. The word that he's going to use is dangerous. That's doing more work than Dr. A speaking here. Rapid weight loss from any method, dieting, surgery, fasting, or medication can lead to lean muscle mass loss if someone isn't eating enough protein, isn't doing resistance training, and is in an extreme calorie deficit. And it's ironic because one thing we know about Optavia, specifically the 5-in-1 plan, it puts people into an extreme calorie deficit. So that's wild to me. This is not a drug problem, a medication problem. It's a no muscle stimulus and low protein problem. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. 2023 Systemic Review and Obesity Reviews, 20 to 30% of weight loss can be lean mass with any aggressive deficit. The takeaway? You protect muscle by strength training 2 to 4 times a week, eating 0.7 to 1 grams of protein per pound of your goal body weight, avoiding starvation dieting, and guess what? You don't have to rely on an MLM product. So there's that.
Especially if you're going to GLP-1, you need to know that you're basically working with a coach and working with our system, because if not, there's a really good chance that you'll lose muscle. The other part is 74% of people come off, 2/3 regain their weight. So we want to make sure that if they are using these drugs, they're using them as a proper tool. So that's really part of the great...
And that's something that they would work with their doctor on that prescribed the GLP-1 medication. We want to make sure they're doing it right. So I'm sorry, who are you? Oh, God.
Game. The great game is becoming a healthy person so that you're not looking saying, oh, I can't have pizza because I have to deny myself. No.
Pizza can fit into a calorie deficit. If you agree with that and you're not allergic to like gluten or specific toppings on the pizza, drop me a pizza emoji below.
Reason why you're not having pizza because there's a hundred other things that are more important in your life, including your family, as Doug was talking about, including our
Oh.
health, including being able to be successful in the things
Or I'm going to sit at the table and enjoy a pizza with my family at the dinner table together. Yeah.
we want. And bottom line is eating unhealthy food we know is a harbinger for long-term dysfunction. Gaining confidence in shaping our future and our metabolic health. All these things are critical. And we've always helped people break the cycle. Basically, we've always protected.
I'm sorry, what cycle are you talking about? Because in my opinion, I feel like the only thing Optavia has helped people with is a restrict and binge cycle. That is my opinion. Ugh.
Lean muscle, build health, sustainable habits, and lasting metabolic health. But we need to change our identity because weight loss, unfortunately, is what people focus on.
We need to train. What? We need to change our identity because people are no longer buying Optavia and coaches are leaving. There's, they're not into it anymore. So we've got to change our identity and stop focusing on weight loss, but we're still going to focus on weight loss because at the end of the day, these people coach people to have a small waistline. The smaller the waistline, the bigger the business is something that these individuals say in this company, and it is disgusting. They also do a fat burn blitz where they only eat the powdered fuelings. It's like an extreme version of an extreme diet. Yeah, I hate it.
Rather than on metabolic health. So this is what Doug was talking about. Basically, over the last several months, we've been targeting metabolic science and putting in position to truly make a difference. Now, I need to spend just a moment on this because it's really important. Most of you know about this by now, but your abdominal muscles separate your visceral fat from your subcutaneous fat. Subcutaneous fat in itself is really important for us. It keeps us insulated. It puts us in position to be able to mobilize. It helps build our endocrine. Our hormones are all made from that. But that fat is coming from the subcutaneous fat, which is healthy fat. And we basically, if we need more of that, we can increase it by making more fat cells. But the fat cells stay little. They stay healthy. Unfortunately, the fat cells inside your viscera, inside around your organs and in your liver, they can't grow by making more fat cells because there's no room in there. So they just start getting bigger. It's called hypertrophy. And they get bigger and bigger and bigger, like a balloon overstretched, like a overstuffed ravioli.
Hypertrophy, like my muscles from going to the gym. Huh? See what I did there?
And bottom line, when that happens, there's no blood supplies to them. They can't get blood because they're so far away from the capillaries. So what do? They send out an SOS, basically alarm fire, trying to make more vessels. It's called pro-inflammation. It's cytokines and these things that are get released by your body, which stimulate making more blood vessels. The problem is they go out and they create this massive inflammation inside your vessels, in your heart, in your liver, in all your organs, in your brain. It's what leads to that metabolic quicksand that ends up being a stroke or a heart attack or cancer or basically cognitive decline. They're all related to this.
Okay, I'm not saying this to be a total jerk, but he's acting like he has the solution to all of these things, and that solution being Optavia. But didn't his wife pass away from cancer? And if they've been doing this for 16 years, according to Doug, how does that all work? Again, that's not me trying to be a jerk. I'm just reacting to what he is saying here. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like Prove It and how they have talked about, oh, this helps with quietly at the events. FYI. Helps with dementia, helps with Alzheimer's and all of these things. They have made these claims, the distributors, not the company necessarily. And Brian's dad passed away from dementia. Anyways, I hope I see Brian this weekend. at the Prove It event that's at a public location. Follow me on Instagram.
So imagine if we can decrease that, if we can selectively target that, what happens? And that is in essence how you improve metabolic health. You target visceral fat. And when you do that, you increase insulin sensitivity and you reduce inflammation. So we know if 90% of Americans have it, it's driven by poor lifestyle, it's silent and progressive. Most people don't know they have it for years. Well, the symptoms I'm going to show you in a minute, there's some vague symptoms that can let you
It's time for a wake-up call, and we have the answer.
Know that you do have it, and we can help you do something about it, but it affects your hormones and your mood, and it's time for a wake-up call. So here's the deal. This is the first term that's so critical for all of you listening, whether you're
Oh, I'm bringing several friends. I'm bringing my husband. I'm bringing my parents because they'll be in town. It's going to be a whole family affair. It's going to be really fun. Imagine just seeing me, like, just sitting there enjoying a meal with my family. You know, Kelsey Ray walks up and she's like, she sees me. I hope she's so uncomfortable. Oh man, somebody requested, hey, please get pictures of her in real life, unfiltered pictures. Say less.
coaches, clients, or you're thinking about it, we now own this. We are masters of metabolic synchronization. And we now have extricated from our studies, these double-blind studies that are best in class. We actually asked the FDA and the FTC, what do you want to see in a study that becomes bulletproof? And so in brilliance, that's what we did. This is a study that says we can reverse metabolic dysfunction. We need to say three things with it. Reducing visceral fat, 14% reduction of that bad fat I told you about. Preserving lean muscle, 98% retention of lean muscle. That's in contrast to what can happen with the GLP-1 drugs.
I'm sorry, what? Reducing bad visceral fat demonstrated 14% reduction. Preserving lean body mass demonstrated 98% retention. It's time for truth, half truth, or lie. Let me know. His claim is that their program, Optavia, preserves 98% lean mass and that it's clinically proven. Let me know in the comments. Okay. Liza. I have to say it like that. I don't know why. Yeah. It's a lie. If your clinical study only exists in a PowerPoint presentation, as we're seeing here, that no one outside the company has ever seen, it's probably not research. It's fan fiction with charts, in my opinion. Real clinical lean mass studies require IRB approval or the Institutional Review Board, DEXA, MRI, or CT scans for measurement, published methodology, peer review, access to data, etc., etc. If none of those exist, it's not a study, it's a sales slide, which is what we're seeing right here. IRB approval is a required safety and ethics review before human trials, if you don't know what that is. And if they don't mention IRB, they didn't do clinical research. So there's that. And again, say it with me, everybody. The only proven way to preserve muscle during fat loss specifically is strength training, adequate protein, moderate calorie deficit, managing your sleep, managing your stress. Yeah, you don't need a fueling subscription through Optavia for any of that. Yeah.
They don't have a coach in the system with them. And
Angela, hey, welcome. Thank you so much for becoming a member. It's like an adapted windshield wiper that DC does. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Yeah, he's on my last nerve. Yeah, who are your trial participants? Just people in your before and after photos? Did they consent? Yeah. Are they distributors in the company that they've been testing for the last couple months? Couple months seems kind of vague. I mean, I know that typically means 8 weeks, but if you're being that vague and we're talking about a study, that's a little odd to me.
maintaining and protecting healthy muscle. So from day one, we're actually dramatically improving all aspects of metabolic health. And basically, as we move into Mission 3.0, healthy habits remain at the center, as Doug said, all four components, our habits of health, our coaches, our community, and our products for long-term metabolic health. But here's the cool thing for our coaches, and why, if you're listening, why you want a coach. With a coach in our community in the habits of health, clients are more successful than without. They lose 10 times more weight, 17 times more fat, and 98% retention of their body mass. How unbelievable is that? That stands in its own. We're the only ones that can say that. Now, just
Oh my God.
going to mention this briefly. This is happening next year, but I wanted to make the point. The company is basically evolved now where they're behind us and they're focusing on being the leaders in metabolic health, metabolic synchronization. And they're actually redesigning and now improving and upgrading and then putting new products that help support all the key aspects of things that we can put in our fuelings that help maximize metabolic health.
That was nothing but word salad. We are optimizing our fuelings to make sure that we have everything that somebody on a GLP-1 medication needs. We're putting things in it to make sure that it's, the best. What is happening?
So we're going to be moving for the next 10 years, as Doug said, in position to be in this blue ocean. The red ocean strategy. Yes, we talk about optimal health and well-being, but it always seems it gets lost in weight loss. Now we're the leaders in metabolic optimization, and with our products, with you as the coach.
You're the leaders? Well, the leaders in your own mind. Is that what you mean?
And with the systems, we're going to be in great shape. So the future of health is coming into focus right now. It includes obviously our 5-in-1, the habits, health, community, and coach, which unlocks ultimate metabolic health. We're the North Star. Everything you've done matters. We're just getting better at it. We now are able to have a story that stands by itself, unique to the marketplace. And here's the thing. In this book, I wrote this book a year and a half before we basically it switched to metabolic health. But in it, I put this.
What? The way that he is wording things is so interesting to me. I basically wrote this a year and a half before we switched to metabolic health. What is happening?
Down because metabolic synchronization, and I did it in a generic form because in the very beginning, before they're even exposed to optimization using our mission and our focus, they can look at these are the 6 key macro habits that you all know so well that they can read about. Each one of these is critical, and working on each one of these improves your metabolic health. So it doesn't just last 16 weeks, but 16 years, but also a lifetime. And you look and say, well, how can optimizing your mindset? Doug touched on it. When you are stressed, your insulin level goes up immediately. So if you're stressed every day long and you haven't developed something.
If you're stressed every day long.
As simple as stop, challenge, and choose to help you work through it, you're in worse shape and you're going to be suffering metabolic dysfunction. We can help at every level, and you guys already know so much of this. You're now putting it in with a new language and putting it in a way that you can say it in a way. You don't have to know the science. That's what I need to do. That's what Satya needs to do. You guys need to know what the language is so you can get people's attention and then bring them in so you can help them do what you already do best, which is help people change their lives. So the future.
You guys need to learn the language so that you can draw people in. Notice he didn't say, you guys need to understand the concepts of how this works. You guys need to understand the physiological processes of metabolism. No. You have to understand the language so that you can draw people in. What?
The future of health won't be written by prescription. It'll be written by those who decide to make their choices, their biology, and their lives. And basically, if you look at it, optimal metabolic health from the great loss game, which is the old paradigm of weight loss and loss of muscle and regaining fat, the yo-yoing and cyclical dieting, we're the new great, basically, gain game, which is about.
Notice how the energy dropped in that statement. He knows he's not the new great gain game. He knows that. Oh my God, stop. Now, I was debating on whether to react to this one or the one with Dan Valentine and his wife. And I felt like this one, and the members agreed as well. The members were like, yes, this is the one. So yeah, I have that video too. Dan, thanks for putting that out. Keep it up, my guy. Keep it up.
About creating health, protecting muscle, gaining energy, and optimizing metabolic health. So this is the new tool. Think of it as being an acquisition and a support tool for you. It's a
Wait. Stop for a second. Is he trying to sell his book to Optavia coaches? Is that what he's doing here? Is that the purpose of this? And he's like, hey, I wrote this book 1.5 years ago. So why don't we switch to, metabolic health? And then, I can sell more books. Oh my God.
the primer. It's real easy. They can read it in a couple of days. It's about taking people that are candidates, having them know that you can help them. If they're becoming clients now, knowing they can read this to get started, they can read it in a day or two, knowing that you're going to help them in more detail, go into the habits of health when they're ready for it. And
This dude is just trying to sell more books.
basically, I'm going to put this as well as being for the lay public. I'm going in the studio, Doug, in a couple of weeks to do the audio, and we'll put it up so it'll be in your basically your app for people to use, just like the habits of health. But it's all about metabolic health.
Do they have to pay for that app? I don't know the answer to that. So if you guys know, let me know. If you guys know, let me know. So he's making it available to everybody, but it's unclear on whether they have to pay for it. I'm confused by that.
And our goal, and I want to show this slide because this really puts things into perspective. So if you think about where we were before, were people wondering, do I have metabolic dysfunction? Well, 90+% of people have metabolic dysfunction. The earlier signs, so now you can use this to check. Do you have fatigue or low energy, sugar or caffeine cravings, brain fog, poor concentration, stubborn belly fat starting to appear, middle stages, mood swings, poor sleep, blood pressure going up, frequent urination in late stages, skin tags. I don't know if you've noticed, but people have these tags around their neck or kind of a discoloration. That means their insulin level is high. They have insulin resistance. I mean, I don't say you should say that the first thing to them. You want to be kind to them and start with how you doing today? But the point is, so many signs, early signs before we get to the really bad things where they have fatty liver, where they have all the other things going on. And so now you can look at this and help them understand. This is what the susceptibility basic questions are, which are also in here in a form, so that they can understand, yes, I do have metabolic. So from the day one, they know that you're not just going to help them lose weight, you're going to focus on their metabolic health. So in closing, Doug, this is our moment to lead, to become the champions of metabolic health. And here's the reality. Basically, yes, we are going out around the world. We're finding where the people live the longest, the healthiest. We're taking those and incorporating. We're taking the latest research, putting it into studies that we can reproduce. We're able to say things.
We're taking the latest research so that we can use it in our studies. But the studies are not legit from Optavia.
Now, like, it lowered my blood pressure. It lowered my cholesterol. It improved my type 2 diabetes. And bottom line, it improved my insulin resistance. So in this decade, starting right now, where science meets purpose, metabolic synchronization is more than a science. It's a bridge. And together, we can walk people across it into the future of real, sustainable health.
This is the part that irks me. There's half-truths, there's lies, there's truthful things to some of what he's saying here. You can achieve these things by working with your doctor and having lab work done and having diagnostic testing done. You don't need Optavia to do those things. You just need to have access to a doctor.
There you go.
Doctor,
that's
thank
it.
you. A couple comments, and then I want to go to Alex. You guys got to hear Alex's story. It's powerful. And then Summer, and then Dr. I've got a couple questions for you to really, as we wrap this up. I was having a big aha because again, I chose to do this 16 years ago. What you described, it's very simple. I mean, you're going to be eating every 2 to 3 hours. You're going to be feeling great. We're going to take you, we got the weight off my body.
You're going to be eating 100 calories every 2 to 3 hours and setting alarms to remind you of how much longer you have to go until the next time that you eat a 100 calorie pack fueling from Optavia. You are not going to feel great. You are going to feel hungry. You are going to be extremely irritable. You are not going to feel good. And you're going to wait for that lean and green meal at the end of the day, which is a little bit of lean protein and some vegetables. There is a reason that there are so many people that can't stick with this, and it's because it is extremely restrictive. Anything that is this restrictive is not going to be sustainable. Small, I'm going to say healthy habits, even though their version of healthy habits and mine are very, very different. Theirs revolves around Optavia fuelings. Mine revolves around actual whole foods and sustainable habits, changing little things at a time. If you have a hard time, remembering to eat, maybe setting some alarms to remind yourself to eat, or checking with a friend and saying, can you remind me? Can you check in? If you don't hear from me by like noon, can you just, hey, did you eat something today? If it's a reminder to take your medication, you know what I'm saying? It's these little tiny habits that stack over time that don't require an MLM, don't require MLM products, that these people financially, make money. I mean, financially make money, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they financially benefit. That's the word I was looking for, off of people's pain points, off of people looking for a solution. And it creates dependency. These people that are on Optavia, that have been on it for years, they've been in an extreme calorie deficit on and off, because they all cycle on and off of it. They're encouraged to do that. And these people financially benefit off of that dependency. It's just disgusting. I hate it so much. The most powerful thing that you can do is understand how to fuel your body properly, understand how your body operates, and understand when, the who, what, when, where, how, why, and why to eat to fuel what you've got going on in your day.
Obviously, my medications went down off and then transitioned back up to where I'm a healthy, fit person today. In fact, I got so passionate about it this past year, I wanted to open a gym for some people here in Scottsdale. And what's interesting is
the most expensive gym in Scottsdale. Remember when he was getting pushback on people saying this is just too expensive? This gym is expensive. He made that whole reel about, well, this is the most expensive gym in Scottsdale. Basically implying that he did that on purpose. It was giving Rachel Hollis, when Rachel Hollis was like, well, who said I was trying to be relatable? Oh, I don't know, Rachel, your entire brand. His entire brand has been about helping people into Optavia, and he starts a gym, and the way that he's presenting this is, I started a gym because I wanted to help people in Scottsdale. Well, what you're saying here in front of Dr. A and what you say on your reel are two very different things. Come on, Doug.
Only 10% of the nation will walk into a gym. It's too intimidating. Where I was before working with you, I wouldn't go into a gym. I was eating in private. I was secretly dieting. I was ashamed. I was like, I'm going to try again on Monday. I was sad. I was frustrated. I was limping into church on Sunday, trying to say the right things, do the right things. But deep down inside, I was falling apart because the embarrassment and the shame, not just what was going on inside of my body, but on the outside of my body. And that's what excites me, is that if 9 out of 10, well, the sad part is 9 out of 10 Americans are suffering with metabolic dysfunction, early signs of it.
Imagine getting online and basically admitting that you were living a lie, while also your wife, Tia, not disclosing that she was taking a GLP-1 medication, while claiming that it was, Optavia fuelings and extreme exercise. Follow my workout plan. I think she even had a nutrition plan. Imagine, I was living a lie back then. No, Doug, you're living a lie right now. This facade that you are trying to keep up while white knuckling to keep things together. We all see it. We all see it. I just find it so interesting that his language on his Instagram is so very different specifically around his gym in this video versus on his Instagram. It's fascinating to me, actually.
The good news is our program, this is our sweet spot. It is to do from your own home. You do not have to walk into a gym. You do not have to work with a personal trainer. We're going to have you get your body moving. We're going to teach you healthy movements.
You're not qualified to train people, Doug. What do you mean? The most exciting thing for me as a personal trainer is when somebody builds the confidence to be able to walk into a gym. It just happened. I had a client, I'm not going to tell you who it is because private information, but hey, I think I'm ready to join a gym. And I was like, oh God, yes, let's do it. That is a powerful thing. That is an empowering thing. So for him to be like, you don't have to walk into a gym, but what if we worked on the confidence for you to have access to more equipment, to vary your routines, to build your confidence? Like, that's a really, really cool thing. It's one of the most exciting things is when I hear that from my clients that start with home workouts and they're like, okay, this is the equipment I have. I'm like, all right, let's do it. And then they're like, hey, I might be ready to add another day. I'm feeling pretty good. Or, hey, I think I'm gonna join a gym. There's a Planet Fitness down the road or whatever. And I think that would be pretty cool. And I'm like, yes, let's do it. It's exciting. So it's so weird to me that he's like, listen, you don't have to walk into a gym. Empower people so that they have the confidence to do that. That's so cool.
Early on in your journey, but you don't have to walk into a gym. We can eliminate that fear. We're going to do the simple things and we're going to do it well while changing your habits through Dr. A's Habits of Health. And it is.
Yeah. And you're not qualified. Again, I'm going to say it with my entire chest. You are not qualified to be doing any of that, Doug. Listening to him talk about metabolic health is like infuriating. Oh God. Also, I've been considering doing a video. Y'all let me know what you think. I don't know if you guys are on TikTok, but there was a woman that was working out at Lifetime Fitness and she got mad at somebody because she was recording her video, her workout. She was recording her workout and somebody was in the background and she got mad and was like, get away from me, and did this whole rant. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I think she's in New Jersey. Let me know if you've seen it, but I have she's deleted everything, I believe. I have all of the TikToks downloaded. I just haven't put it together and figured out how I want to talk about it. But I want to come from a place of, this is why people are uncomfortable at the gym, because of people like her. And I think it could be a good video, but I'm not really sure if that's something that you guys would be into. So let me know in the comments if you would be into it.
Is a complete transformation and a complete reset. And so the program is very simple. I might 100%. Be leaving with more questions and answers, but the program is simple. That's the how. The what we're doing here is, do we want to get healthy? Are we ready to take personal responsibility for our health? Are we ready to take action? And for some of you, are you ready to actually swim upstream with us? Because I know tonight there's a lot of online fitness coaches, there's trainers, there's people, and people really won't follow the macro meal prep thing. It's complicated. It can get hard, and it's a key part of our journey, the healthier that you get. But people just need something simple. They need something that they can do. They need a plan that they can follow. They need their meals kind of made for them and just simple. So we have made it so simple, and that's the exciting part.
As if this is the only option. If you don't have time to meal prep, there's possibly meal prep services out there. Or if you have like one day off, you could part of your day meal prep. There are so many different options that actually involve real food, not Optavia fuelings. This company creates dependency for people. The victim blaming and shaming, keep ordering your fuelings, keep ordering your boxes every single month as a thank you to your upline, even though, is it sitting there? Are you eating it? Do you even want to eat it? It's just, the manipulation in all of this is wild. It's really cool to be able to teach people how to build a complete plate. It's really cool to teach people, hey, here's some recipes that I found that are super easy, that, take minutes, and they're actually pretty good, and you can make extras and have lunch the next day. And I don't know. This stuff really bothers me because of them creating dependency in people. You should think about what you're eating. You should be taught how to look at what you're eating, how to build a complete plate. What does that mean? When should I eat this and why? Why do I need this many carbs? Why do you know what I'm saying? It's so infuriating to me what this company does and how people leave the company in the state that they're in and what they have to repair, not just with their relationship with food, but what's going on within their body. It's just
before I go back
before you go on there, I just want to say this. So
yeah, go ahead.
I hadn't thought about it in a while, but you just talked about fat prejudice, right? And bit sensitivity. There's a whole section in optimizing your mind. So if you have someone that's suffering from that, they can actually go in my prescription for life. And there's a whole section. I actually
promoting his book.
Tried to think about all that so that, in the beginning, we can't do it all for them. But if they can read and we can awaken them, we have the book was written to all the things that you could be thinking or feeling, and we have the solution for all those. And so the beauty of that is now people can, in little incremental steps, change everything. And we're here as a community, an empathetic community. And all of that basically says
Doug doesn't have an empathetic bone in his body. What do you mean you're an empathetic community? With people like, what's her name? Gina Eccles, Dan Valentine. These people don't have any empathy. What do you mean? Kevin Tinter? Oh.
It's up for exactly what you just said. So we want to be able to reproduce it with tools, and then we can just be ourselves and ask questions and really find out how we can personally help them. It's so critical.
Yeah, because we have the tools, and our best people that end up coaching others are the ones who experience the wins for themselves. And speaking of that,
and that's how they pressure people to become distributors or coaches in the company. Oh, you've had great results. You should become a coach for the accountability.
Done that this past year. Alex, I want you to come on. I want you to share your story. And while you're talking, I'm going to also show a picture of you because you are completely.
This is Alex Glassglow. I haven't heard of her, I don't think.
Your whole family's changing. Your husband's changing. Everything about you is changing out there in Colorado. So please share.
Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful to be here with you guys tonight. Thank you for having me. And I love everything that this program is about and everything that it's done for me in my health. 7.5 years ago, probably similar to many of you, I saw somebody on Facebook.
Of course, we're going to throw up a before and after picture. Yep. Show me an after picture when they go back to regular eating. That's what I want to see.
Book talking about the transformation of their life, and I reached out. And I lost 55 pounds in 4.5 months and felt incredible. And
55 pounds in 4.5 months. Did y'all see what YouTube sent me? It actually lights up, but I don't have a plug over there. It's pretty cool. It's very bright, but I thought it was kind of fun to put it there. Anyways, 55 pounds in 4.5 months.
My ego took over and I gained every single pound back. And I'm going to go in a little bit of detail about that here shortly, but the picture.
Was it your ego or were you starving? Literally. Hey, babe.
They clean my ear, and cleaning my ears makes me gay.
Oh, okay.
That Doug just put up was just from a year ago, you guys. And I swore up and down that I would never let anyone see that photo because I purposely took it to really show where I was at. And I was so frustrated because we have this incredible program in front of us and I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it. Does that sound familiar to anybody on the Zoom?
You couldn't get it because the program is designed to be that way because it's so restrictive. Oh, God. Do we want to listen to these testimonials? Because I think the last little bit of this is testimonials, and I'm not sure that we want to do that. Let me know if you do. Let me know in the comments.
I had messed up my metabolism because I kept going in and out and in and out and in and out of 5 and 1, probably 573 times.
Yeah, which is what all of the Optavia coach, I shouldn't say all, a lot of the MLM or Optavia coaches do. They are pressured in order to change their business. They're pressured to get back on plan, which means the 5-in-1. And then they have people that do a fat blitz that is an even more extreme version of the 5-in-1. The 5-in-1, you're taking in 800 to 1,000 calories a day. You're eating 5 100 calorie packs, give or take a little bit of calories, and 1 lean and green meal a day. You are taking in such a small amount of calories that it's going to impact your BMR. It's 100%, which is the amount of calories that your body needs to operate at rest. So your body doesn't even have the calories it needs to function.
I was binge eating constantly, and I was crying myself to sleep, and I felt like the biggest hypocrite on the planet. But let me be very clear. This wasn't my coach's fault. This wasn't the nutrition's fault. This wasn't Dr. A's fault. This wasn't Optavia's fault.
Except it
was my fault.
No.
And let me be clear that I wanted to blame all of those things, right? Because that's easier. That's living in comfort. It's so much easier to point the finger at everything else than actually doing the work on yourself.
The system is the problem.
And I lived in that for a very, very long time. So I had to go and do some of the real head and heart work. And thank God for Optavia, because we have so many tools at our disposal. And we embrace them and we can move forward. So we embraced GLP, which is the weight loss injections. And I started on the GLP.
You embraced it after villainizing it. I'm not saying her, I'm saying Optavia. The top leaders, I'm gonna continue to say this. The top leaders were villainizing the shot, a GLP-1 medication, while also quietly using it. Tia Wood is an example, and I'm sure there's others that will never admit it. Oh my God. So she's on a GLP-1 medication and using Optavia. I cannot.
GLP medication, and I'm not going to lie, I took full advantage of the GLP medication and played around for a while to see what it would do for me, because I was still stuck. I kind of did suck, but I was stuck in a negative headspace, and I was stuck in diet mentality still. So I educated myself. I did the work on my head and my heart. I got into therapy and I dove into GLP and our send line. I was done, as Doug and Dr. A were talking about, with the counting of macros. I could not eat another tuna packet. Anybody else out there? I was like,
as if that's the only form of protein. This is somebody that doesn't understand nutrition, in my opinion. You can eat other protein sources, that you don't have to eat just tuna.
Please, Jesus, no more tuna. Ascend came out and it changed all of my perspective, because once again, we had a tool, an easy grab and go component that we could add to our program, and we could move forward with getting the correct amount of protein that we need, specifically when you're on a GLP. I had to recognize that I had to quit playing small and that nothing grows in the comfort zone. And I lived there for way too long.
That is MLM speak. I was tired of playing small, implying that there's more that she could be doing to help more people through her own personal results with Optavia.
Excuses? I've got them. I could probably give you a few. Addiction? Yep, that's me. But this is about so much more than me, you guys. This is about showing up as the mom that I want to be, and showing up as the wife I want to be, and showing up as the woman that other people strive to be. I want to show up for the moms and the sisters and the wives that are out there that feel like they have no other purpose but to survive.
Please leave women alone. Thank you.
The GLP and the Ascend program has completely given me my life back. It's given me permission to show up as a normal human. I no longer binge eat. I no longer eat a meal only to think about the next meal.
Let's see what happens when you get off plan. See how that works out for you.
I have normal portion sizes. And because of our Ascend line, I eat the protein I need. And I exercise and I do the things that
Her Ascent line that she's referring to are essential amino acids, protein shake, a protein shake, and I can't remember what else they have. You can get that anywhere. I prefer to get it from food, but there are times that I will use a protein shake. But I don't make it like a shake. I actually use it more for cooking. But okay.
old Alex wouldn't do, because old Alex lived in the easy. And she
Oh,
lived in the comfort. And now that I got out of my own way, and thanks to our Ascend program, here's my statistics as of today. I have lost 60 pounds. I have lost 36 pounds of pure fat. I have preserved 94% of my lean mass.
and how do you know that? Let's see if she explains how she got these numbers.
And in a nutshell, that means that our program prioritizes fat burn and protects our metabolism extremely well. I'm 46 years old and I am in the best health of my life. Thank you so much for letting me share. Back to you, Doug.
Thank you, Alex. Dr. A, before I go to
Notice how she didn't explain how any of that was done. I feel like that's important.
summer, and then we wrap up with a question or two. Anything you want to speak to that? Because it sounds like Alex has followed your prescription for life almost to a T, because she's changed her habits.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's exactly right. And, because she has in the background, she lived in the shadow of Optavia, she had all the tools. She just needed to have the right things in place to help her. And basically, why fast food is so successful? Because it's easy and we can do it on the go, right? When 24 years ago, we didn't have any healthy go products. We just had the shakes. That's all we had. So that was one of
You're
the
not the
first
only
things
one.
even back then. But now with the Ascend line, we're addressing. It's very hard when you're on a GLP-1 drug because you're just not that hungry to get enough protein, like eating a lunch of meat and chicken and fish. So what's nice and what she's approaching is that because this tool allows you to get 20 plus grams of protein, you're actually able to on the go and still eat as you need to, but make all the changes.
You can get 20 grams of protein from many different things. In fact, if we're talking about things on the go, you can get an Oikos Pro yogurt with 20 grams of protein. Oikos 000 has 15 grams of yogurt, or of protein of yogurt. It's a yogurt with 15 grams of protein. You don't have to drink protein shakes to meet your protein goals. There are so many on-the-go options. You could boil some eggs. You could pair it with some cheese and some almonds. By the way, almonds are a fat source. There are so many ways that you can do this if you are somebody that is on the go. And the fact that he is trying to pitch us like Optavia has this groundbreaking product, and we're talking about a protein shake with 20 grams of protein. Oh, hi, babe. I'm on a live.
Okay.
Why are you limping? I saw you limping. He said he's not. Man flu. Okay, well, good luck with that.
Well, I'm walking.
Okay,
today.
that's good. I wish I could show you what he just did. That was really funny. The face he made. Okay, anyways, let's get back to it.
And all those subtlety things that she wasn't ready to do, now they're in a line with what's important to her. And she now knows that her identity, she's increasing her standards. Every single week, she's getting better at the little things. And together, that's how we change to a new identity, a new healthy identity that she's creating, is by every week just increasing just a little bit. You don't have to have massive breakthroughs. You have to make a decision to do it, but then it's incrementally get a little better, get rid of something.
I just find it so odd that he's talking about making these small little changes when we're talking about the Optavia 5-in-1. Whatever calorie amount you are consuming, going to 800 to 1,000 calories a day. That's not sustainable. And I know they're probably going to say, well, that's why we have the disclaimer that you're only supposed to be on it for 12 weeks. 800 to 1,000 calories a day for 12 weeks sounds like my biggest nightmare, honestly.
Get rid of a habit of disease and add a habit of health. Make it harder to do the things that are unhealthy and make it easier to do the things that are healthy. And so the Ascend for Alex represents one of those things that made it easy for her. So she didn't have to, do all that preparation. And I can identify with that because I live alone, and preparation in a brownie every morning. And by the way, Doug, just before we go to some
Preparation of a brownie every morning. He's talking about a fueling. If I ate 100 calories for breakfast, it would be very difficult to be around me. Oh, God.
summer, I have a brownie every morning. I still do, because I know with my glucometer that my blood sugar doesn't go up. I get to finish that morning.
Well, you can also you could also increase your fiber intake to help with that. So
my coffee and my brownie. I love it. Boom, I'm ready for the day. So it's convenient. I'll be doing it for the rest of my life. And to your
Sounds
point,
terrible.
I just built a new gym. You helped me get the proper equipment in it. And bottom line is, now I do an active.
do you think that Doug would remember when he was selling some of his gym equipment for his very successful gym in Scottsdale, the most expensive gym in Scottsdale, whatever. Remember when he was selling equipment? I don't remember what it was that he was selling, but I wonder if he sold it to Dr. A. He was like, yeah, I'll help you get that equipment. I'd be in jail. I would be in jail if I ate 100 calories for breakfast. You know what? Relatable.
I do an active right in that process because I want to use leucine and stimulate my muscle. So bottom line is, metabolic health uses all of our tools, puts them together, and is a metabolic coach, basically a health coach that functions in metabolic optimization. We're now in position to have a whole bunch of new stories that people will identify with.
He's making this sound like Optavia coaches are doctors. This is giving Kelsey Ray selling or offering, if you will, training programs because her fiance, I was going to say boyfriend, her fiance is a certified personal trainer. It doesn't work that way. Dr. A went to medical school. He is the doctor. You can't just repeat what somebody is saying and act like you're this professional that understands about metabolic dysfunction online because you're repeating what Dr. A said. You still have to have the credentials, and these people do not. These Optavia coaches do not.
I love that. I love that. Summer, before I go to you, I just have to clean up. Some of you guys were like, did Dr. A just say he eats a brownie every morning for breakfast? Yes, it is a balanced brownie with the right amount of carbs, proteins, and
It's
sugar
low glycemic.
of our
It's one
planet.
of our
It's a low
brownies.
glycemic brownie.
Yeah.
That,
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's a
part of
good
the
point,
fun.
Doug. That's a good point.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Summer,
It's a
your story
fueling.
is completely different. And as we wrap up here, and then I'm going to ask the coaches to stay on because I have a few questions for Dr. A about where we're going as a movement.
Oh my
But
God.
Summer, go, because it's completely different than Alex.
It is.
Okay. Summer, her husband Mike, was diagnosed with prostate cancer several years ago. I've done a video on this. Not on him having cancer. Her husband's name is Mike. But on the fact that he, in my opinion, refused traditional treatment and was doing all of these different treatments, if you will. And I think he was doing natural remedies, and it just seems like a very familiar script. And if you've been a member of my channel or you've subscribed to my channel for a while, you know why I'm saying that. It just seems like it is a familiar path, and I hate it. So I guess that's all I'm going to say about that. But check out the Optavia playlist. Mike's video is in there, and his cancer has now metastasized to his bones in his vertebrae, specifically in his neck. I think he mentioned something about in his skull. And Yeah, it's spread. Prostate cancer. Yeah.
It is, and I'm grateful to be able to share it. I just put a one in the chat if you were a yo-yo dieter, if you would call yourself a yo-yo dieter. I would say
Every Optavia coach should be dropping a 1 in that comment because that is what they do.
that I was the person that tried everything under the sun, and I actually was not going to do this program. I
Did you
was
try
like,
everything?
nope, nothing works for me. This girl, it works out 2 hours a day. And honestly, I starved myself to try to keep my weight off.
Wow, crazy, because that's what people do on Optavia's 5-in-1 plan. So not much has changed, right, Summer?
I also will tell you that I have lost thousands of pounds because I would lose it, gain it, lose it, gain it, lose it, gain it. I did this dance. I also, at the time
Thousands.
when I was trying to get healthy and didn't know how to do it, I had to work out 2 hours a day and I had to starve myself. Doug, I think you have a picture of me, and I don't know if you can pull this picture up, but if you look at that woman on the left, that was me. Do you see the dark circles around my eyes?
Maybe you're tired. Was this when you were a new parent? Because every new parent is going to have dark circles under their eyes. I just know that there is not going to be context. There's Mike on the right with her. Also this, it's one of the most successfully treated cancers, especially when caught early. Here we are.
And at that time, I would tell you that I was healthy-ish. You see the big wine glass in front of me? Well, every night when I came home from those long hours of work, that was my go-to. I didn't eat food. I actually drank wine and, well, ate chocolate. I don't know if that's food. And then do you see the right picture? Is me with my husband just a couple weeks ago. And right now we're in.
If you, how do I want to say this? Yes, I know that Mike is battling cancer, but there is a drastic difference in how he is looking here recently. And I'm worried. I guess it's the best way that I can say that. I'm worried.
The battle of our lives. And actually, if you would look at that picture before, I would have said we were in the battle of our lives at that time too. It just was a different battle. Right now, he's fighting stage 4 prostate cancer. But do you see the difference in us?
Tell the rest of the story, though, Summer. Tell the rest of the story and how he didn't want to go with evidence-based medicine, the best weapon that we have against cancer, several years ago, until he thought, well, why is our insurance not covering it? It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating.
I believe that this program helps us to shine. And what I mean by that is
Also, while we're talking about it, I really cannot stand the fact that here you have Mike with stage 4 prostate cancer that is metastasized, which is stage 4, and he is still pitching Optavia. When he was first diagnosed and he started to lose a lot of weight, he used the picture of his weight loss and was, in my opinion, making it appear like the weight loss was from Optavia when he actually had cancer. That is how it appeared to me on his social media.
when you actually embrace getting healthy, there's a new part of you that literally radiates. Because I didn't just get healthy in my body, because that's what I had done before. But my mindset was so unhealthy. My relationships were so unhealthy. Mike and I were on the brink of divorce. And now we're like newlyweds. We're so passionately in love. And
oh, yeah. Yeah. I bet you guys are like newlyweds because, you know, him being in pain and having to lay flat. I can't. I cannot. But we have a new member. So let's take a pause because clearly I need it here. Sarah Jane, thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you so much. This is free. All right, and there's a new link within the last week, I want to say, for the Discord if you want to join. Would love to have you guys over there. This makes me so mad because what was the reason? You know, what was the reason?
What's beautiful about what we get the opportunity to do through this program is help people heal, not just metabolically, but also mentally, emotionally, relationally. This program has radically changed my life. I've been a part of this program for 11 years, and I don't regret not one of them. I have learned how to fuel my body properly, but also
I feel like she is so performative. I was sitting here thinking, why does this feel? It just feels performative to me. It feels over the top. Feels like she's acting. Just my opinion.
to think of myself properly. It has helped me with this self-talk. That was my biggest enemy. And some of you on here, you think that you're on here to check out a diet or a plan or what's next. I'm telling you, maybe this is the lifeboat that you've been looking for that's going to help you renew your mind.
This is emotional manipulation. That's what this is.
Transform your life and allow you to be the wife, the husband, the friend, the partner that you've always wanted to be. So I would just encourage you. I was the biggest skeptic. Doug is my coach. He knows I was probably one of the most difficult clients on the planet.
If you were a skeptic, you wouldn't have joined. It's like saying I used to be anti-MLM, but then you joined an MLM, so you weren't actually anti-MLM.
But I am forever grateful that I decided to take a leap and just jump. And I jumped in head first. I actually became a client and a coach. Oh,
Because you're encouraged to do that. You're influenced to do that. But don't believe me. If you're somebody that's in or that was in Optavia, tell us about how they, try to flip you into becoming a coach when you're a customer. Tell us how it works, because I know there's some of you that are watching and some of you that are watching the replay. Tell us about that if you feel comfortable, of course.
a couple days apart, and I'm forever grateful because one thing that I did share on Facebook recently was we were able to pay cash for my husband's treatments recently, and that was about $250,000.
Yeah, and how much of that came from customers and how much of that income came from your team?
And that's because of the gift of coaching. So Dr. A,
Oh, God.
thank you.
Oh,
Doug?
my God.
Thank you. Back to you.
Wow, you're welcome. Summer,
Oh.
you chose
Wow, you're welcome.
because you sat on a call like this 11 years ago. You and Mike chose to say, you know what, enough is enough.
I don't think insurance would cover their treatments. I don't remember what the treatments were. It wasn't traditional treatments, and insurance wouldn't pay for it, essentially. Yeah.
I want to coach. I'm ready to get back in the game of life, and you guys have taken personal responsibility. So you were prepared, better prepared for the storm that you've been in right now. So anyway, our love and support and this community, now that you all know, we're praying with you, and Mike's going to have full healing. I'm going to bring Dr. A. Dr. A, Dan, let's bring Dr. A back on the screen. Dr. A, I've got a couple questions. And for those of you that logged on, just like, who are you?
Okay. I feel like I'm done with them. It's infuriating to me listening to Summer talk about it, watching on their social media as I periodically check in to see what's going on and how Mike is doing. It's infuriating to watch them infuse their social media and his story of battling cancer with Optavia. It's so infuriating because I think to myself, what was the reason? What was the reason? It's like the meme or whatever, but Yeah. Okay. Let me get myself together here. Because that it makes me so mad because it's familiar. I know you guys know what I'm talking about, unfortunately. It's disgusting. All right. So if you found today's live stream, I'm still trying to get it together. If you found today's live stream helpful, and I hope you did, I have the sources in the video description. You can check that out, including the metabolic health research, GLP-1 trials, and body composition data. You guys deserve real information, not sales scripts disguised as science. You don't need Optavia. You don't need Medifast. You don't need any other MLM company's product or to be a part of an MLM. You don't need to spend $400 a month on powdered food, processed food, to be healthy. You need evidence-based habits that still work long after the product or the coach or the company disappears. And I hope that that happens soon. If you love this content and you're liking the style, you're liking the vibe, check the playlist in the video description. And please, if you would, hit like, subscribe. And if you'd like to become a member, we would love to have you. I do a lot of members only live streams. We prep for live streams. I'm getting ready to do some fitness and nutrition Q&As, behind the scenes stuff. So click the join button anytime if you'd like to join us. We'd love to have you. Thank you guys for being here. I know this kind of ended on a heavier note. Well, this whole video was heavy, I feel like, but I appreciate you guys being here, and share it out if you feel comfortable doing so, and tell me your story about Optavia in the comments. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.